Hey everybody, it is David, and today I'm going to try what they call a Storytime video, which is when you tell a story and you record it on video. Storytime video, great concept. I couldn't think of what story to tell. I have a lot of good ones, like a high school trip to San Francisco, maybe when I was in basic training. Lots of fun stories, but I think the first one I'm going to do, which shouldn't be too incriminating, I should still be able to run for president after this one, but still a little fun, is my first bad alcohol experience. And so this isn't anything that's gonna get me in trouble, but it is actually quite a funny story. So just to keep in mind, this is not my first drinking story. This is my first just really bad experience. So I'm not going to tell you how old I was because that would get me in trouble. But I will tell you I was at my cousin's house. And back then I was a lot scrawnier than I am right now. And I also was not what you would call an experienced drinker. However, my cousin was. And my cousin was a lot bigger than me. And like I said, he was very well practiced. So one day I was spending the night at his house. And he decided to play this wonderful game called the Minute Shot Game. I don't know if this is really a game, and I would never suggest anyone play this, but the rules are simple. You have a shot, you pour the shot, you drink the shot, and then you count 60 seconds, and then you do it again, and you do that again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. So one thing about my cousin is he was an older cousin, and I looked up to him, and I was always trying to prove myself to him. So when he pulled out the Goldschläger, because of course, why not the first time I have hard alcohol for it to be Goldschläger, or what we call the alcoholic snow globe, little gold flakes swirling in some hot peppermint juice. So he poured the first shot a Goldschläger, and I tried to mask my face as much as possible, but it probably was more of one of those real fast, but I took it like a champ. And so 60 seconds later, decide why not, let's do another one. And so took that one like a champ too. Second one, weird, went down a little smoother. So then it gets time for the third one, and my cousin's already questioning if I should do a third one or not. And so I want to prove now I'm good to go, so I take a third one. He takes a third one, a minute goes by, time for the fourth one, and at this point he's like, no, I think I'm even good. Let's not do it. So in my mind, I'm like, let's do it. So I take another one. He takes another one. I actually do not know how many we took that night. I know it was at least 4. But then the rest of the night was a little blurry. And it's not like, oh my goodness, Girls Gone Wild video. I'm from a very small town where there's nothing to do anyway. And I really was just spending the night at my cousin's house. So we played... it was like Madden football. We played a couple video games. We watched a movie, played basketball in the backyard. And then at the very end, this is the most vivid recollection I have of that whole night, which is funny because it was like, I remember pouring the first shot and I remember what's about to happen, but the rest was just never to be remembered again. But when I started remembering, I was on the couch, and we were laying on the couch, and we were watching one of my favorite shows of all time, even back then, which was Gilligan's Island. It was on Nick at Night reruns. I loved Gilligan's Island. And at that point, I was feeling a little queasy, and I didn't want to tell my cousin I wasn't feeling well. So I'm like, okay, cool, Gilligan's Island's on. I'm going to focus on Gilligan's Island. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be a champion. This is going to be good to go. For any of you that have ever watched Gilligan's Island, there's one famous episode, which they do like a murder mystery type episode. And I just so happened to be that episode. And what happens is they're trying to figure out who did whatever the crime was. And so what they'll do is they'll have a close-up shot of like Gilligan's face. And it'll be like, did Gilligan do it? Or did the skipper do it? And then the camera will real fast zoom over to the skipper's face and then hold on it. Or was it the millionaire's wife? And then it goes again. Usually, cool episode. Love the episode, except for the Globetrotter episode, probably one of my favorites, except for I'm trying not to throw up. And as I'm focusing, it's blur, 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 blur. So I look over at my cousin, thinking that, even though he's beat me up most of my life and likes to roughhouse with me and gives me a hard time, all through love, but gives me a hard time, I look over him, I go, I think I'm going to throw up. In which he laughs. Nothing, just laughs at me. And so I'm like, okay, maybe it's in my head. He's better at this. Maybe I don't know better. I've never drank this much before. Let's go back to Gilligan. Look back over at my cousin, and I'm like, hey, no, really, I'm going to throw up. In which that point, it really hits him. Oh my goodness, he's going to throw up. So instead of being the kind, nurturing, gentle cousin that most people would be, he tells me, you better not throw up in the living room. Mom's going to kill you. You need to get to the bathroom. Which the bathroom was like not even 100 feet away. But at that point, I didn't know what to do. So I look at him, I'm like, can you carry me? And he says, no, you better get into the bathroom. And he's not using that language. He's using other language at this time. And so I'm trying, and my brain is still trying to work. I know I can't get up because any movement is just making me even more nauseous. So then I look up and see Gilligan, which is making me more nauseous. So I'm like, can you at least give me a trash can or something? He's like, no, you need to get to the bathroom. And so I don't know what to do. And at the last moment, I feel it. It's coming up. It's the point of no return. So what I decided to do, I take 2 steps, and it was the slowest steps of my life. Take 1 step, 2 step, and I fling myself into the bathroom where I made the toilet by that much. Luckily, none of it got on the carpet. All of it got in the bathroom. Good to go. But from this day, 1, don't like Goldschläger anymore. 2, I really don't. And now that I actually think about it, I don't think I've ever really watched a Gilligan's Island episode since then. And 3, I now have an awesome story that I can tell people about why not to play 1-minute shots with your cousin who is much older than you and a much more seasoned veteran of drinking. That is my story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like these, let me know, and I might tell you another story. If you know me and want to hear a certain story, let me know. Please share this with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe below, and I will see you next time. Thanks.